There's one that I did here in Doral that was a car body shop. I did like just like mosaic art patterns. I did like this Jeep. It's like a psychedelic Jeep that's like popping out of a wall, and it has like my patterns in the background. And I have like this Lamborghini that I painted, and it has like my patterns.
Please send me. You can see it on the screen. Please send me a picture. You know what I'm saying?
We'll send you guys a picture.
See it on the screen.
Hell yeah, psychedelic Jeep. I'm into that.
I think I wouldn't say murals. I would say like some of my favorite canvases lately have been my soul bots. So I have like these soul bots that are like, again, they're like a representation of people that have been broken or spirits that have been broken that put back together in the back. And like you have the soul bot as the centerpiece, but behind it, like you have like these patterns in the background that represent like the levels of success and the levels of depression, the levels of life choices and stuff like that. So a lot of my stuff is bright colors and very like happy, but a lot of it does derive from like pain.
Brothers are now like acknowledging the fact that it was a freaking killer ass movie, dude. Like, if that movie would have been released in movie theaters, I think they would have come close to breaking the record again. That movie was so good, dude. It is 4 hours.
4 hours long, ladies and gentlemen. God, you know what I'm talking about? That is a voyage of colossal proportions, you know, to have to sit down for 4 hours. Sounds like a damn Tempur-Pedic commercials. Ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? You know what I'm talking about? It's your motherfucking boy, Gamero, the Pharaoh, the poor man's Robert De Niro. You know what I'm talking about? Bald version. Ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? I am also very ecstatic to be here at another beautiful Thursday at midnight, or what is this, Sunday real time that we're talking about, you know, because time is just an illusion nowadays. But ladies and gentlemen, we are also very ecstatic to be joined by another illustrious guest in the Midnight in Miami studios. But before I get to introducing the talented man before me, you know what I'm talking about? I know there is a Hawaiian shirt in the studio that is calling your attention. You know what I'm talking about? If we had a damn program that can calculate where your pupils are, you know what I'm saying, at most of the area in the screen, ladies and gentlemen, it would be this damn shirt calling your attention. Ladies and gentlemen, to my right hand side, we got my beautiful co-host, Emi in the His house. What's going on, Emi?
Over here, the freaking mosquito bandit, bro.
Bro, the mosquito bandit.
Alive this weekend.
They're having a little buffet with you.
Dude, it is tough. I'm doing like mantras. I'm focusing.
Yeah.
It doesn't itch. It doesn't itch. It doesn't itch. It's not working.
Damn.
Oof. We'll get there though.
We'll get there. Have you put a little pomada, a little something, nothing?
Dude, no.
Damn, bro.
No, because I'm stubborn.
That boy's going in raw. You know what I'm talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, behind the cameras, you know what I'm talking about. There is a man, a very talented man. You know what I'm talking about. The man is making his way to the microphone after 23 episodes. The man kind of got the hang of it. You know what I'm talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, behind the cameras, we have cameraman extraordinaire Ignacio in the His house.
Yo.
What's going on?
Yeah. Signature yo.
How are you?
I'm chilling, you know. Just a Sunday.
No mosquitoes. No mosquitoes.
A man, a few words. Ladies and gentlemen, I need a breather before I introduce the man that we have in our studio today. Ladies and gentlemen, the man before me is a powerhouse of talent. You know what I'm talking about? You try to put him in a damn box, boom, he'll paint that damn box and then break that damn box. You know what I'm talking about? You can't corner him into one craft. Ladies and gentlemen, the man before me, it's the first time that he is here in the Midnight in Miami studio, and surely, definitely not the last. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in Midnight in Miami studios, we have artist Rocsolmiami. What is going on? First of all, I gotta compliment the hat. God, that's a nice hat.
Yeah. Thank you. Very much. Thank you.
Damn, I need to hydrate. How are you?
Fantastic, man. Thank you guys for having me, man. Much respect.
Thank you for coming through today, Roxel. How do we dive into an episode of so many different crafts, so many arts, so many different talents, you know? First of all, let me talk to you about, the elephant in the room, if you will. For most artists, I like to start off with the question of how has the current pandemic, is it still, it's still current, right?
I guess technically, yeah.
Current
On the way
pandemic,
out, on the way
on
out.
the way out, pandemic. How did that affect your workflow? How did that, were you hit with inspiration, or were you hit with writer's block or artist block, as far as not being able to put work out, or was it the opposite effect? Did it give you new material to feed off of?
I think a combination of both. There was like a lot of highs and lows. So there are some times where I'm able to create, but I was working a 9 to 5 job. So I was in the sense of trying to figure out how to maintain with bills, and the reality of the pandemic, and at the same time getting out of work and finding the inspiration to create in the first place. So at the beginning, it was a lot of ups and downs, but things changed once I became a full-time artist, which is 7 months ago.
Okay, talk to us about that plunge, the diving into the unknown. Every artist longs to break away from your typical 9 to 5 or your typical restaurant job or whatever the case may be. What motivated that decision, and how has it resulted in so far?
It's been blessings, many blessings. So it's scary at the beginning, like going for the jump, because you feel like when you're working like a regular 9 to 5 job and stuff like that, you feel like everything's practical. You have the money coming in regularly. And then when you take the jump, you're like, okay, how many clients does it take to pay the phone bills, the
Right.
house bill, the car insurance, the regular stuff, So you just gotta for me, it was like being like an entrepreneur in a sense where I was like, I need to put myself out there on a consistent basis so that I can attract that clientele and, get those. And to me, it's about little wins. It's not about like being a full-time artist and trying to be a millionaire right away. It's like it gradually happens, the success of it, So it was scary at the beginning because it was like, damn, where's it gonna come from, But as soon as we jumped, and it's not just me, it's also my fiance. We both film, edit, create music, create the art, and it's almost like we're our own little media company,
Right.
But because of that, we know how to market ourselves and how to put it out on a consistent basis, and also how to create content that's like visually appealing. So everything's about like aesthetics. You know what I'm saying? Like it has to appear and look a certain way. You can't look like you're struggling or you're a starving artist. I don't believe that in this day and age we can be starving artists because of the internet. We can literally do whatever we want. We can create a product, put it out there, and if you present it a certain way, people will receive it and they'll be able to invest in it and see the value in it.
What was the level of importance in making a product that was different to other things that were out there? You briefly mentioned before we started the show that you didn't just put a CD out there. You definitely tried to corner every single one of your crafts and kind of encompass them all together. Why did you do that, or what gave you the idea to try to mold it all together?
I think when it came to creating the solar coloring book, I've always done the music and the art simultaneously in different time forms. Like I would do music first, and then I'll take a break and then do the art. And from a long time, people would be like, you should, consolidate the two to see, what's going to happen. And at first it was like, okay, well, how do we go about doing that? Because I do these mosaic art pieces that come from a graffiti background. I come from a hip hop background that's kind of like backpack, but I'm also evolving and I'm doing like trap music and dance music and EDM. So how do I make these transitions? So I have all these ideas in my head, but it's about how do you make it clear and simple for people. So I used to teach music and art therapy to kids. The kids love typography, they love the letters, they love graffiti, but they gravitated more towards the patterns that I would create. So that happened a few years ago. Fast forward now, I'm recording the music, everything's coming out great in the studio, it sounds very professional. So I'm like, I can do a gallery show, maybe a comic book, And then it just, me and my fiance, we talked about it. We're like, what about a coloring book? And we felt like with the coloring book, you were able to get to know me through the music, but also get to know me with the patterns. I feel like life, there's a sequence of events. The patterns are a representation of the direction that you're going to go in life. So soul art is a representation of that. It is a coloring book. It is a music album, but it's also a way to get to know me, also get to know yourself. So I don't know if that answers everything. Sure.
I got to ask, what came first? Was it the music? Was it the artwork? What was it?
The art first.
Oh, yeah?
The art came first because my dad was a graphic designer, and he would design, t-shirt designs for the Miami Heat, Digimon, Pokemon, a lot of different companies. And I would see him like on the computer working on these like t-shirt logos and designs, and it would make me want to practice. I wasn't any good at the time. I would try to do like a Mickey Mouse character and it would just look horrible. But that came first. Then 8 Mile came out. When I saw 8 Mile, I was a rap.
Bro, you can put that on my motherfucking tombstone. You know what I'm talking about? Say less.
When that shit came out, I was like, okay, I want to get into hip hop. Because I like the whole aesthetic of Eminem being the underdog. Nobody respect him. And him going into a cipher and really like, first, it's always like in every kind of like movie or an idea, like the underdog is like not trash at the beginning, but they get, they get toyed out,
He chokes.
better.
Yeah, and then like he has like his friends being like, yo, you can do this. I know you can do this. Me and you freestyle together. You just got to do it like in a group setting.
Shout out Mekhi Phifer.
For real, man. And just to see that, I was like, all right, cool. Let me get into this culture of hip hop. Because before it was like, I loved hip hop, listening to 50, Nelly, 3 6 Mafia,
that 2 Live
Ice
crew.
Cube. Yeah, 2 Live, but I didn't know about like the history of where it came from. And then I got into like underground hip hop, like the culture, the 4 elements, breaking, graffiti, emceeing, DJing. I learned about how it came from the South Bronx. I watched this documentary called The Freshest Kids. Okay. And it kind of like explained how b-boying came to be in the late 70s and 80s, and how graffiti in New York, and also like how hip hop was created. A lot of people, they couldn't afford guitars, so they bought, turntables. And that's how producing and DJing and everything is today, Right, it all started back then in the late 70s and early 80s, so it's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
What inspiration does hip hop play? I mean, clearly it has an inspiration in your music, but what role does it play in your artwork? And talk to me about your roots in graffiti.
Yeah. So it's like a backbone foundation for me. You can see it like in my color schemes. You could see it like in the way the patterns and everything are formed. They kind of have like a b-boy mentality. So I have like my patterns, and then I have like these soulbot characters. And the soulbot characters are like these, I would say, robots that are made out of pieces. So it's almost like if a person was broken and they were put back together, it would be a soulbot. And the soulbot kind of has like these cool like moving formations that come from like the whole b-boy mentality, like people breaking on the floor, doing freezes, head spins, or just like movements, And graffiti kind of taught me the outline. If you look at the way I outline a piece, or I add shine, or the different color schemes, it comes directly from the years and the effort that I put into painting different types of murals and practicing different color schemes. I can be like, okay, well, this turquoise goes perfect with this, color. And then, and it was just like a math formation for me that I accumulated throughout the years. So I would say graffiti and hip hop are like the backbone of what my art is, and also different genres of music. But yeah, that's pretty much.
Have you dabbled into b-boying yourself? We have a fellow b-boy right here. You know what I'm saying? That's D-Nuts. You know what I'm saying?
D-Nuts in the house.
Oh, D-Nuts in his house. Oh, for sure.
Gang shit.
And he was a Spartan. What was it?
Spartan Breakers. Boy.
Spartan Breakers.
Okay,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I did break a little bit from out of high school all the way to like I think 2012 or 2013. Not too sure when I stopped, but yeah, I was part of the b-boy community. Used to go to Caldas, FIU. I would train with iFlow crew, Aerobat Skeletons, Super Mario. My homie Examp, he was the one that taught me some breaking in Braddock, and then he introduced me to all the other b-boys like Super Mario and Bebe, Ground Zero, Flipside.
Big shout out.
You know what I'm saying?
Dang shit.
And yeah, they taught me, that was like my life in college. It was going to college, skipping class all day, because I was a horrible student. It was skipping class all day to go paint murals, or to break into like rooms to practice the craft. And then we would, do the battles, and they have like these competitions with cash prizes and stuff. So I would do that. I started a crew called Thoroughbreds.
Okay.
So it was me,
Oh, yeah.
Exempt, Jews. We had my boy D. We had Kevy Kez. We had Kenneth. So it was like a mix of like Cubans, Filipinos. It was like all over the place. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
And that was part of my life as well. You know what I'm saying? It was, the music, the art, the breaking, and it's just funny how shit comes like in full circle,
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Why would you say that that the hip hop community or the hip hop scene in general just attracted you so much? Like, what was it that really hit you as a young kid that was like, wow, I can't get enough of this?
Yeah, I think it was the jams. I would go to Catalyst, or I would go to like an event called Evolution. These are like really big b-boy events, so they would fly out people from all over the world to enter these competitions. So you got people from like Korea, Japan, people from like Ireland, people from like Boston, Texas, people from like LA. They would come and they would go to you guys know Las Solas?
Yeah.
In Fort Lauderdale, they had this place called Club Revolution.
Oh yeah.
So they would rent out that spot, and then these events would just have people ciphering. So they'll be like, they had the battles, and the battles would be like 4-on-4, 8-on-8, people like battling each other and, doing crazy ass moves. Funny enough, now breaking is in the Olympics. No flex on that, but it's crazy. But, it would be that. And then once those battles stopped, they would have ciphers. And in the ciphers, people would try each other. Like, It was like battling. It's like little like miniature like fights breaking off like in different areas and
King
shit.
of the Dots sort of
Yeah.
thing.
And I just liked that. I thought it was dope. I thought it was dope that you could be in a circle and then you could show like what you have. Like
Right.
if you were any good, you can really surprise people. If you were bad, you were either gonna get called out or someone was gonna make fun of you. Like it was rough. Like
For sure.
It's like anything. It's like if you're trash in sports, someone's gonna be like, dude, you need to work on your shot.
Right.
Or you need to work on, running or whatever it is, Like
Right.
it was like that, And I just felt like it was competitive, but at the same time it was very like innovating because people were able to teach you like a lot of like different skills and different like techniques of how to do stuff. And the same thing applied from breaking to emceeing and also to some graph aspects as well. But graph is a little bit more cutthroat for sure.
Emi is definitely far more educated in the b-boy realm than I am, but I would want to ask. I mean, what is one if you can look back to a moment that you saw someone, either yourself or someone else, pull off a move that it definitely made your jaw drop on the floor, like it was something you hadn't seen before, something that really kind of like stuck with you?
I think it wasn't like a move, but it was this. It was like a really, really old school b-boy competition. It was called Who Can Roast the Most, and it's basically like it was a boxing match, but for breaking. So it was like long rounds. It was like 10 rounds, which is like really difficult because like towards the 5th or 6th round, you start getting tired. Right. But there was this one b-boy, Lego. He's from here, he's from Miami, Florida, Flipside Kings. He fucking like was like perfect all like 10 rounds. He had like his stamina and everything was like perfect. All his moves were executed. He has this style called like the art of storytelling. So everything that he does, like every move that he does has like a beginning, middle, and end. Oh, so, but that was like for 10 rounds. So imagine it's like 10 different storylines to a battle. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, you can battle someone. It's kind of like fighting, but it's also like you're literally telling him like a story. And it was crazy, you know what I'm saying? Through the moves.
So he's doing this for a minute a round or?
Sometimes a minute, sometimes even more. It depends on how long the round is. And sometimes it's like footwork, or sometimes there's power moves incorporated in it. But everything, again, has a beginning, middle, and end.
That's wild, dude, because, I mean, that's draining.
Yeah.
Draining.
Yeah, and it's tactical, too.
Oh,
because there's also rebuttals in battles. So someone might do a move and you'd be like, I can kind of do that move too, but I'm gonna do it my own way and flip it. So it's almost like in King of the Dot when someone's emceeing or battling you, you're like, okay, you said something about me in this line. Now I'm gonna.
Yeah.
You know,
and you can tell when it's top of the dome and when it's written. For sure.
Exactly.
Which because you have like a game plan, right? But you also need to be like, all right, fuck you, dude. That was cute, but let's see what's going on.
Right, for sure. Have you dabbled yourself in the rap battle scene?
Yeah, I did for a little bit. I've won a few battles, lost some as well. But that was also it was awesome. It was basically like kind of like b-boy in a sense where, you need to be tactical, but you also need to be paying attention what the other person is saying because you could use that against them. You know.
Yeah.
So that was dope. But after that, I was pretty much, wanting to like kind of dabble into the whole graph scene. And then I did that for a couple of years as well.
Did you have any experiences in the rap battle scene where someone went too far or something along those lines? Because they say that there's no such thing as a low blow or whatever, that anything goes. But at the same time, like I've heard some shit on King of the Dot that I'm like, oh, talking about their mom being on a wheelchair and this and this and that. Has there ever been a situation where someone went below the belt with you?
Probably. I don't remember one that I can recur that's like really, really bad. But, people are that's the name of the game. Like, you got to know what you're getting into,
Right.
I think that's where like the emotional intelligence comes in. Like, I've seen those type of battles. And, when you see someone, like, they kind of get, like, they get really, really upset, even though they know what they got into. Like, I look at that, I'm like, it's just not me. Like, I already know that if people are going to insult me, that it's really not that big of a deal.
Right.
And they're just doing that to kind of get you out of your element. That's why I'm saying, like, it's very tactical. You have to be like, all right, cool. It's personal. It is personal, and it does, and it can probably be hurtful.
Right.
But it's like you have to be able. It's almost like with fighting too.
I was about to say the same thing. You can't be an emotional fighter.
Yeah, you can't, because and it applies to all the other aspects of this.
Right.
It's
it causes that one moment of hesitation that you just lost.
And you just got
and it's not even worth it getting upset. What's worth is the win at the end.
Yeah.
100%. Smart man. Ladies and gentlemen, every single week, you know what I'm talking about? We have three segments. You know what I'm talking about? And the first one is actually called Mail Time. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out Blues Clues. And in this segment, every single week, every Saturday, you go on our social media, our Instagram, Midnight in Miami, and you'll see a post regarding questions that you yourself can ask the next upcoming guest. And this is the questions that the audience asked for the guest. Here.
Hell yeah.
Go. Question number 1. Have you ever had problems with police because of graffiti?
Yes. Yes.
Elaborate a little bit.
So yeah, I did get in trouble once, and I went to county for it. But it was funny because I wasn't even like doing the mission. I was like a lookout. When I planned my stuff out at the time when I was doing like illegal stuff. I don't do this anymore, by the way, guys.
Respect.
Sorry, Mom. Sorry, Dad. I love you, family. Your boy's still an angel. No, but at the time, so one thing about graffiti, it's about consistency. You're only as big as your name and how consistent you are. And that applies to a lot of stuff in life. But yeah, when it happened to me, I did get in trouble, and it was just kind of like a life lesson because I love doing the art, but not enough for me to get in trouble every single time. So that's where I really started taking into consideration about how can I make it into a career where I can use what I was taught, but not get in trouble for it all the time. And also I was teaching music and art therapy to kids. So I didn't want to portray that message to them like, oh yeah, I'm a graffiti writer. You can go out, you can catch wreck and this, that, and the third. There's some people that are about that life,
right? And
all the respect to them.
Right,
if that's what you want to do, go for it, But everything has a consequence, you know what I'm saying?
Is there a line in the graffiti community between people that tag illegal spots and then people that are only tagging because they're hired for a project?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. There's definitely a lot of rules. So, like for example, like if you're a writer and you're not toy, never to go over a graveyard or a church or schools.
Those are no-goes.
You don't. I don't know if I can curse here, but
you don't
shit where you eat. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like where you live by and stuff like that. Those are like basic fundamentals. If you're a writer, but from the business aspect of it, getting hired out, then there is that separation. There are people that do both. They do the illegal stuff and they get hired out to do commercial work or gallery work. There are people that started doing like illegal stuff at the beginning and then, now they're doing all professional work. So it all depends. It's like, there's like a hybrid of people that do both or one or the other,
Right. Okay. Very cool. What is your favorite mural you've done?
Damn, that's really hard. I have a lot. There's one that I did here in Doral that was a car body shop. I did like just like mosaic art patterns. I did like this Jeep. It's like a psychedelic Jeep that's like popping out of a wall, and it has like my patterns in the background. And I have like this Lamborghini that I painted, and it has like my patterns.
Please
There's a
send me.
lot.
You can see it on the screen. Please send me a picture. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Hell yeah.
We'll send you
can
guys a
see it on the
picture.
screen.
Hell yeah, psychedelic Jeep. I'm into that.
I think
Yeah, hell
I wouldn't
yeah.
say
What?
murals. I would say like some of my favorite canvases lately have been my soul bots. So I have like these soul bots that are like, again, they're like a representation of people that have been broken or spirits that have been broken that put back together in the back. And like you have the soul bot as the centerpiece, but behind it, like you have like these patterns in the background that represent like the levels of success and the levels of depression, the levels of life choices and stuff like that. So a lot of my stuff is bright colors and very like happy, but a lot of it does derive from like pain and stuff like that. So those are some of my favorite pieces. So murals and canvases.
Very, very cool. And lastly, from the mail time questions, what is one of the biggest letdowns you've experienced in the art world?
One time I painted a large mural for a client, and I never got paid for it. No, I got everybody else paid, but I never got paid for it. And what had happened was they were nitpicking like little imperfections on the wall, and they were holding, they were like basically holding the money for ransom, and it was kind of like a life lesson in itself. Where now, whenever I do get client work, I always have like a contract up front, or you pay 50% up front, or
That
the
deposit,
full,
boy.
Yeah, the deposit. Like I never. Like it taught me to never go like out of my way just because people are doing like things for the community or this, that, and the third. Like anybody could be out there to get you like that or to take advantage of you, And now that I'm a full-time artist now, like I don't even risk that at all. I'm just very like direct, professional with people, and I try to teach people like what I went through. I don't want no one else to go through. You know what I'm saying? Because it was a huge mural. It was huge. I put in so much work. I got a lot of people to help me out, and for that to happen, it was like an L, but to me, it was like also a lesson. You know what I'm saying? So I was able to kind of use that energy to be like, all right, cool. Now I know to never do that again, but also to educate people and
protect yourself.
Yeah, to protect yourself. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I would say it was that.
Wow, very cool. Thank you for those mail time questions. Make sure every Saturday you go in, send in those questions. We'll read them out in the air anonymously. You know what I'm saying? Keep it anonymous. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Why not? Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy that someone would take advantage of you in that way. And they never did you right.
No.
Wow.
That's crazy, man. You handled that like a man because I
You
would have
did.
just walked up with a bucket of paint.
That's what I was thinking.
Bro.
Yeah. There were times where I was like, maybe, but I was like, it's not worth it. And I feel like everything. And funny enough, I ended up getting the money back, but through a different form.
Right.
Like, cause I used to do sales, so I literally made the money that I lost from that. I made it back in my commission. So I was like, you know what? Funny how that works out,
Nice. Go ahead.
It made me realize too that sometimes not everything needs a reaction. I know that people need to defend themselves, which is true. Sometimes you do have to defend your name and protect yourself, but not everything needs a reaction because somehow karma does work out. And if it doesn't work out, you'll get rewarded in some way, shape, or form,
So you're big on the energies when it comes to this sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm not perfect, but I'm definitely big on trying to not react all the time. I used to be very reactive before I met my fiance. She taught me about the emotional intelligence and all that stuff.
Shout out fiance.
Christy Love, my wife. But a lot of it is just kind of like, and I feel like social media plays in a part of it because you ever see people like they lash out their feelings online just so they can have like the mob with them.
Yeah.
They have like their friends or try to agree with them, but you
Every
don't.
day. Yeah.
You don't hear both sides of the story. You hear their side, the other person's side, but you don't. And then there's the truth.
Right.
I feel like that's counterproductive to someone's success, especially if you're trying to be an artist, and it's hard to practice. But it's not reacting to the world. Because think about it, the bigger we get, the more the world is going to attack and nitpick every little thing we do. And the bigger you get, the less time that you have to answer all those people,
You seem to be in such a like a great headspace right now, such a good space in general. Does this play a role, or does this affect you using the colors, the bright colors that you use? And if so, have you been in a other place in your life where maybe you were going through some shit and you weren't using the same colors and it was more of a dark vibe and your artwork was affected? Has that ever happened or not really?
Absolutely. I think when it comes to like the darker tones that I use, it could have been like in a period where I was going through a lot of turmoil, but I use it. I just use it. I use the art as a as a tool, like a channel, versus like trying to break or destroy something. I just put it in the art, So sometimes I use darker tones. Sometimes I use brighter colors, It really all depends on where I'm at, the materials that I have, and just the direction that I want to go with it. And everything is not even like, it's not premeditated. It's all just happening.
Spur of the moment kind
of
thing, right?
Like live stream. It's just, it is what it is, And it's kind of hard to put into words when something happens to you and it translates through the art. I learned the foundation, I learned the technique. If I have a bad day and I create something, then I'm able to just use what I have around me, and then I'm able to just have the result of it,
How do you what's the process that goes on in your, open up a little bit. What's the process that goes on for you as far as today my inspiration is calling for artwork, or today my inspiration is calling to go in the booth? Like, how do you differ that?
Yeah, it's crazy. So with the art, sometimes for me, it's a lot about just trying to do something different. So sometimes I won't paint for a few days because I'm just trying to come up with inspiration or come up with an idea of how to do something. Sometimes it might just be a circle, literally just one circle. And then that circle becomes a triangle and a rectangle, and then it becomes an arrow, and then it becomes a cloud, and then it becomes there's shadows over here, and then there's a cross hatching, and then it becomes a soul bot, and then the soul bot has a graffiti can behind it, and then behind the graffiti can there's a b-boy, and then there's a car coming from left field, and I might even include a Midnight in Miami in there somewhere.
Damn, boy,
you know what I'm saying?
Bro, I'm blushing right now.
So it's like a collage of moments in my life that are just, it could be random or it could mean something to someone. Sometimes I create artwork, I don't have a name for it, I don't know where it's coming from, but then you might see something in it, be like, oh, I see this this train in a tunnel, and I see this Willy Wonka character, or I see the Green Lantern or something,
Right.
Like it's all like random, but it makes sense to someone, So when it comes to just creating something from scratch, I start with one singular thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's fucking cool, man. Talk to us a little bit about your sound, the inspiration behind it. If someone who has never listened to a single one of your tracks or anything, if they were to ask you, how do you best describe your sound, what would you say?
I would say it's structure, but it's also bipolar. So if you listen to a lot of my music, I do things kind of like in even and odd numbers. So I'll do things like in even numbers. I'll be like, okay, I'll do 4 bars of this same structure, but then the next 4 are going to sound different. So the whole song structure has foundation, but it has different, like, I would say energy, or has different like volumes to it. So the reason why I do that is because I don't want it to sound too repetitive. I feel like a lot of artists, they sound very like cookie cutter,
Right.
repetitive.
And
And then after a while, you're like, all right, and
Juan's got someone's name in mind.
and what's crazy is I feel like we all have like very short attention spans. So it's like the way I create is to grab your attention, but as soon as you feel like, all right, this is kind of getting repetitive,
Hold
boom,
you again.
switch.
Right.
So that's why I feel like it's bipolar,
Hell yeah.
in that sense. So I guess that's like the best way I would describe it.
Right. Okay,
Yeah.
I love that.
Structured but bipolar.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of a little Kendrick Lamar vibe. He'll have a whole vibe going. I'll be like, all right, fuck this.
Yeah, that's
Boom,
it.
whole nother thing.
Yeah, and take it to that level.
Yeah, a whole nother thing.
Yep.
That's very cool. Talk to me about the first time that you went into the booth. Did you already have this level of confidence that you got that shit, or were you like, like a young schoolgirl about to take on the world? Like what was it like?
I was excited. I was very passionate, but I felt like if I would, it's like when you go back in time, you would, teach yourself like, hey, look, chill over
this way or
here,
whatever,
do this way.
Right.
Like I felt like I was very excited, but I still had like a lot to learn. I wasn't afraid, but it's all about first impressions too. You know what I'm saying? Like how you perceived around people. So back then I just didn't give a fuck. Now I care a little bit more. So like I prepare myself. If I'm gonna go and I'm gonna record something, and I'm gonna spend money to record at the studio, I want to make sure that I am 100% ready, that I can execute what I'm gonna do, and there's gonna be no hiccups.
Right.
Or that I'm gonna be around people that are gonna be honest with me. They're gonna be like, okay, look, you can do that take one more time. I feel like this was good, but you could do this a little bit better. So that took time to develop, to find like-minded individuals that are gonna be honest with you and that are gonna get you to like where you're gonna get at for it to sound dope. So when I first started out, it wasn't like that. It was like, all right, cool, I'm gonna go and record the mic. I'm gonna spit some raps. Whatever it sounds like, it's gonna sound like, and that's it, and just be happy with it. Now I'm more like, all right, I want to be happy with it, but I want the execution to come out.
For
fire,
sure.
you know?
Talk to me about those like-minded individuals that that you keep referring to. What's your relationship like with engineers? What's your relationship like with producers?
So with engineers and producers, I'm really big on, people being unique, but being professional. I feel like even if you are a creative person, you have to kind of treat your work like a job. I'm not saying that, you have to be like super professional,
right,
this, that, and the third, but it's more like if I'm paying for your services or you're paying for my services as an artist, I want to make sure that I can deliver what it is that you want. So that's specifically what I look for. Also, if like, you're level-headed, because I feel like some people are just too emotionally all over the place. Like they're very creative and they're very talented, but they let their emotions get the best of them. So it's like trying to be around people that are like responsible, that are creative, and that are professional, Can
we, I want to talk about a little bit about the book. I definitely want to showcase it. I know Emi was checking it out earlier.
Yeah.
Emi, talk to us a little bit about what you saw.
It was awesome. It was, and I mentioned it earlier. It really gave me that vibe of when I was a younger kid and we would go to the Virgin Music Store, or you'd go to, does Barnes and Noble still exist?
Yeah.
Borders, shout out Borders.
Yeah,
Or Best Buy.
and they would have the music section in the back, where you could listen to a couple of the tracks and be like, yeah, I'm really feeling this.
Yeah.
And then you open the CD case, and right adjacent to the CD, you had that little booklet which had all the lyrics in there. It had some, it depends what music you were looking for. Hip hop would probably have some graffiti in there, or some pictures of the crew hanging out, bullshitting, whatever. But it would have some art, and it would have to kind of go with the song individually, which is the vibe that I super got here, right? Plus, you're saying you get to color it in, so it gives you that interaction with it, right? Especially right now with the whole color book kind of a thing. Yeah. To like help with anxiety and being locked in the house for so long.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely have a lot of friends personally, and a lot of family friends as well that all do the coloring books, and they'll go and buy coloring books, and they spend tons of money on markers and all sorts of coloring pencils or pens or whatever the fuck, and they go through it. So I think that interaction, you get to go through the lyrics and you get to break them down, which is something that I don't see that far anymore, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes in Spotify, they'll have that where they'll give you the lyrics, so you get to really read through them and see what's going on, because it's poetry kind of at the same time, right?
Yeah.
But I think this allows a different avenue to have it there and to read it, and then to see the images and how everything feeds into each other. And
we wanted it to be like an experience.
Yeah,
we wanted it to be, because like,
Absolutely
when you went to buy the CD, like it was the CD with the lyrics, but there was a graphic designer or someone that spoke to the artist. Like it could have been like Red Hot Chili Peppers that are like, we're gonna do this specific photo shoot. This is the artwork that's gonna be on it when you're flipping each page. Is like we don't have that anymore,
Correct.
So I felt like, and it was crazy because we took a risk, because we're like, well, do we feel like people are gonna care about this? Because everyone now is live streaming. So what if this is a complete flop and we just wasted our money doing it?
Right.
But we just took the risk, and for me, it's like, it's a hip hop coloring book. That's an album that's integrated with it. You could scan it with a QR code, but it takes you to my website. You could see all my canvases, all my artwork, my whole bio, my whole history. It has the coloring book aspect of it where you can color in. Like it's multi. There's so many things going on with just this one, and it's crazy because
It's layered. There's layers.
Yeah, there's
to it.
layers to it, you know? And I didn't think about it until like now, but I was like, the CD was just the beginning of it. And the idea kind of also came from this artist. His name is John Bellion. And he's done like produced for like Rihanna and, you know, Eminem and all these artists and stuff like that. And I remember when he did his album, he hired out an artist that did like these Disney characters, landscapes. But for each song, he had like the artwork for it, you know? And I was like, damn, that's like really dope, you know? So I was like, maybe I could do that with a coloring book where each song or title has my patterns in it. I could do my patterns. People can listen to my music while filling in, but while they're coloring in, they're seeing like, you know, what no return is, or seeing like, okay, this person like split in half. I have lyrics where I'm saying split between the scenes.
Right.
I'm having like things that I create within the art that go with the lyrics. So there's a lot of levels to what soul art is, and sometimes it does take some time for people like to kind of like digest it. Even for me, you know, we're the ones that created, me and my fiance.
Right.
But once people do get around like the whole creation aspect of it, it's, you know, I think it's something that people will have for years to come, you know?
100%.
Absolutely. It's like that little bit of a vintage vibe. Not that vintage, right? Because the 90s isn't...
Yeah.
I don't think we consider that vintage
Well,
yet.
according to
Old school.
Charizard prices,
I guess it is.
They're going up.
You know what I'm saying?
They're going up.
They're going up.
It's definitely got that vibe where you're right. I mean, it's not a thing anymore, right? It's all Spotify or Apple Music, which, by the way, I tried to use yesterday. I'm a 72-year-old man living in because I couldn't figure it the fuck out.
Yeah,
but,
even
that's
me.
not
Spotify
here nor there,
gang.
right?
That's Spotify
yeah,
gang.
yeah.
The book is currently for sale.
Yes, on my website.
Where can they find it, please? The website.
So you guys can find the Solar Coloring Book Bundle at Rocsolmiami.com. That's ROCSOL Miami.com.
And you can see it on the screen. You know what I'm talking about. Boom. Check out the link on the screen, ladies and gentlemen. Please support the man. The man's talented. And honestly, having the chance to be able to check out the book myself, you know, having it in your hands, you can tell when something is of quality. You know, you can tell when someone goes the extra mile to make sure that the experience when you open it is one of wonder, of one of that shows shows a level of professionalism. You can tell when something is cheap, and this is definitely not that. Ladies and gentlemen, please check out the link. Please support the man. You know what I'm talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, every single week, you know what I'm talking about. We have 3 segments, you know what I'm talking about, and the second one is actually the movie review of the week. You know what I'm talking about. And in this segment, we ask our illustrious guest for a suggestion, a recommendation. You know, a TV show, a movie. We've had a damn video game. We had
albums.
Bro, we've had albums. We had Angelina Castro suggest a damn adult film. You know what I'm saying? So any sort of media that if you were to, meet all of our listeners in one go, you're like, this is what you need to
My man's
watch.
excited. Hell
He's
yeah.
excited.
I know exactly where you're going.
What is it?
All right. Right now, at this very moment, I need everyone to go to your Amazon Prime. If you don't have Amazon Prime, you need to get
Figure
it
it
right
the fuck
now.
out.
Figure it out.
Figure it out.
Make
Call that
it work.
friend that has it.
Yeah.
Get their login.
Yeah.
And you need to watch this show called Invincible.
Damn, is that good? Yo,
So good,
Right,
dude.
by the
right?
way, for the past 3 weeks, all the suggestions have been things that Emi loves.
Hell yeah. Emi is excited, bro.
It was Friday Night Lights. It was
Which is gang shit.
Peaky
And
fucking
also
Peaky
the
Blinders.
Peaky fucking
It's
Blinders.
All
That's
shit.
right.
It's all shit Emi loves. But okay, tell me about, what is it? Say it again.
Invincible.
Invincible. Okay. Talk to me about that.
So imagine Invincible. I'm not gonna, because I don't want to give no spoilers.
Yeah,
Because that's the part of, like, the best part of the show is
Dude,
that it looks
You
looks
have
like,
no idea where they're going with it.
yeah.
It was so good.
It looks like a regular Saturday morning cartoon show, like the ones that you used to see in WWB
Okay.
or WB, but it's not. And I'm gonna leave it at that.
It's not.
Is it? It's not.
That's it.
Oh my
So, okay,
God.
That's some adult shit, bro.
Yeah, and it's from the same writers of The Walking Dead. So that's all from the same writers of The
Which,
Walking
when
Dead.
you said that to me, you threw me for a curve because
Okay.
The Walking Dead, I was kind of like...
Started strong.
Whatever.
Started strong.
Well, the first
and then-
season was awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
Because who doesn't like zombies, right?
Okay,
But
because
then
you're
the
not a
second
horror
one-
guy, but continue.
Yeah, but it wasn't horror, bro. It was on fucking TV, bro. It was
This guy
cable
won't watch
TV shit.
Dexter, but all right.
love Dexter.
Thank you.
I mean, the image is a fucking scalpel.
Oh my
What
god.
are we doing? What are we doing? But that's neither here nor there. But after the first season, I was like, all right, this is just too much shit. And then I found out that you had like there was like army people, and then there was like they were in a prison, and then I was like, all right, guys, this
What's
is
going on
getting
over here?
outrageous. Yeah, it's getting ridiculous.
But it's from the comic book writers.
Right.
Yeah, so it's
But this show, man.
it's crazy because we don't want to tell too much.
Oh,
because
man,
that's what makes it great.
I've got to keep it down.
Yeah, you know, because it's like, because if you tell people like, oh, this is what makes it great, it's like it loses all the excitement. But let's just say it gets, you know, a little crazy.
Oh.
A little,
Oh my god. Okay, all right.
And the reason I found out about that show, I found out, I think the second week. So what they did was they released it week by week for eight weeks, right? I think it's 8 episodes. And I found out this once the second episode had premiered on TikTok, it was going crazy. The introductory scene, right, where you're like, oh shit, they're setting the tone for this shit real quick, bro.
Damn.
And they kept playing this, and I kept seeing this, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? I've never seen any cartoon like this. This is wild. Because you're used to children, you know, just a couple punches here and there, maybe a bloody nose.
Right.
But the shit that you're seeing, you're like, this is
Yeah.
fucking crazy, dude.
Damn.
And that was the opening scene of the show.
can we
So
say
the way it goes?
it's beyond brutal? I think we can say it's beyond brutal.
Beyond. Like, it's fucking...
Are we talking Mortal Kombat
Yeah,
style?
dude. Like, we're talking
Respect.
eyeballs and skulls.
Oh,
And,
that reminds me of in the early 2000s, there were these like bunnies that would fucking.
oh, Happy Tree Friends.
There you go.
Gang
goodness.
shit.
Respect. That's kind of what that reminds me.
That
of.
was an aggressive show, though.
Okay, and how
Like, I
ma-
couldn't watch that show.
for real?
I saw like 3 episodes and I was like, this is fucking ridiculous.
How many stars would you give it? Out of 5.
That's 1,000. It just went past 5.
Hell yeah.
It ascended. It's gone. It's not even
Wow.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a cartoon show.
Wow.
Yeah,
Are
so
you,
it set the new bar. Like,
are you
it's
big into
definitely-
cartoons or anime?
No.
Oh, wow.
That's why I didn't give a fuck about it.
Yeah, I
and
was
then I
like-
saw the introductory and I
Yeah.
was like, whoa, we need to see
Okay,
this
all right,
shit.
I'll have to check it out. Because normally when it's a guy that already loves anime, I'm like, all right,
whatever,
right.
dude. Yeah.
But if you're saying you're not into it, and wow, okay, respect. All right,
Great show.
Yes,
we even got Ignacio back there excited.
Have
He
you
was like,
have you
"Fuck
checked
yeah."
it out?
Oh yeah.
Oh
Did you
yeah,
finish it?
go to the, you have a microphone.
Did you finish it?
Yeah, I saw everything real quick. You know?
Dude.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Wait, how many seasons? It's one
No,
season.
it's
Yeah.
one
8
season,
episodes.
8 episodes.
But they
and
already
I binged
confirmed 2 and 3, season 2 and 3, right?
How long are they?
About an hour each.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like 45 to an hour.
Chilling.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's a long little ep. I mean, it's fucking good. They said to me, is the new bar.
Yeah.
Like, superhero shit's got to start looking like that. Because
mean,
it was too childish.
Is that since it's cartoonish, people are like, I don't know. But
think so? Man,
After
it
no,
slaps
but
so
I
hard.
think it's dope as fuck.
Slap so hard.
After the first episode, like the ending, you're like, all right, what happens after?
Dude,
Yeah.
the last episode, oh my
Oh.
god.
Omni man, dog.
Bro,
Big ass
I'm-
cliffhanger. But I checked out the comics and I know what happens after.
Oh yeah,
Like,
you know.
I didn't know.
You know.
Yeah.
Because apparently it's
You
a
know.
comic book series that's been going on for a little while.
Yeah.
Like for a few years, a little while. And I had never even heard of this shit because by now my mind, like everyone else, is like, oh, we've invented every superhero.
Right.
There's 5,000 in Marvel and 5,000 in DC. I mean, and they're copying each other even. So we're out of
Yeah.
ideas, bro.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of like similarities to both of them, but I mean, neither of them has ever done anything like this. I mean, no, I've never seen anything remotely like this ever in any comic book shit.
All
Yeah.
right. I don't think this comic book craze is going away anytime soon.
Oh, no.
You know.
No, because everyone has geeked about it when we were kids, but you're like,
Right.
oh, it's not cool, so let's keep it together.
right,
you know?
right.
But now it's fucking cool.
All right. Well, you see it on the screen, and the man said 1,000 stars. You know what I'm talking about?
yeah. Starry Nights, boys.
It
Starry
must.
Nights.
It must be good. I gotta ask. In one of the pages, beautiful book. There was one. Honestly, it's one of my favorite ones, and it says "Cuba Libre." Talk to me about that. Talk to me about you showing your heritage, your roots. Talk to me about your or showing your political views through your artwork. I know some artists are renowned for that, Banksy, or and some artists steer away from that. Where do you stand on it?
Well, Cuba Libre to me is kind of like the 2 Live crew version of the album, you know? So it's very like Miami based, but I guess it's a representation of like what we're allowed to do here in the States. You know, like we're allowed to have a good time and to party. In some places in the world, you're not allowed to do that. Well, you could at a cost, you know? But for me, it was, you know, linking up with Ivan. He showed me the beat. I was like, dude, this beat is ridiculous. Let's go to the studio. Let's record it. And it's kind of funny because like, I didn't even think about it like on that aspect, like in a political way. It was more of just like we're free, we're having a good time. It can represent the Cuba Libre drink or the mentality of it. And now that it's so funny you put that, you know, into perspective and stuff. But now it means more than ever, you know. There's so much crazy stuff happening in the world that nobody is like having fun anymore.
Right.
There's no like, you know,
cancel culture and all that stuff.
yeah, it's like everything is super like
Super restricted.
too
super
restrict.
observed,
Yeah, you know.
super, yeah.
So this song is like a huge F you to all that. Literally, it's a huge F you to all that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Very cool. Very cool. Do you feel what sort of, I guess, artistic relief do you feel when you're in the booth as compared to when you're doing artwork?
Damn.
I'm assuming they're different kind of releases, right?
There's similarities.
Yeah.
There are similarities. For me, it depends on what I'm going through at the time. So I can be recording a song that I really want to record because I have like an emotional pull to it, you know? And I'll get that same release once I'm done recording it. And that can apply also to when I'm painting, you know? There's definitely a lot of similarities. With painting, sometimes it's more of like an exercise because I've done it for such a long time. And the same thing with recording. It's kind of hard to answer that because I feel like I do both of them simultaneously the same. So it's kind of hard to differentiate if I feel anything different. I would say it all depends on what I'm going through at the time, you know, or what the song is about or what the art piece is about. Like, what is the subject matter about? Do I really feel what I'm feeling right now when I'm recording this song or when I'm painting this piece? Is this true to me or is this going to resonate with somebody else? It might not be true to me, but this can mean something to someone else. So it really all depends.
Where did you learn all your techniques when it came to you know doing your different art pieces? I'm sure that when you first started off, there were techniques that you didn't have that you have now. What was your process learning? Were you sort of a YouTube learner? Did you go to school? What was your kind of process like?
Before YouTube, at least with the art, I had, you know, friends or people that, you know, I had to gain the respect. Like in the graffiti world, it's like if you want to be a writer, like you could, but it's not going to be like a walk in the park. Right. People are going to be like, okay, you want to be about this life? You really want to learn? You got to learn these fundamentals first, but I'm not even going to talk to you. You're going to do that yourself. It's probably going to be trash, but I want to see if you could do it. That's how a lot of them are. They want to see if you can do it. And the B-boy scene's kind of like that too. They want to see if you could do it yourself, not just say it.
Yeah, before they give you the time of day.
Yeah. So me, it was like, look, I did it. What do you think? Trash. Trash. It was trash for years. My stuff was toy or trash for years. But that's the thing. Like, I loved it so much that I didn't care if I was wasting money on cans or materials. I didn't care if I was injuring myself. It was just like a check mark of goals. So eventually people would teach me, but I would also be very observant of what people were doing, their techniques, and be like, okay, maybe I can apply that too. And a lot of it is about flipping. So like in hip hop, you don't want to bite. You don't want to copy someone's style. You want to be able to be like, you know what, that's a pretty cool idea, but maybe I can flip it another way or another color or another style. And then you start creating like your own little techniques and fundamentals, you know? But that takes time. That also takes letting go because you're going to be taught a foundation from someone, but what can stop you from growing is just learning that person's foundation. So you can learn other people's foundations and do like a hybrid, and then you can also teach yourself. Then YouTube comes in. You're online watching different artists, seeing different people doing different techniques, and you're like, all right, cool. So this person from Europe is doing this. Maybe I could do something similar to that, but not exact, and flip it and do it completely different in another direction. Sometimes it's just taking it to another direction, you know?
Okay. You talk about, you know, it being trash in the beginning. At what point did you realize, hey, I have a talent here? And more importantly, at what point did you realize not only do I have a talent, but I can start charging for it?
I think it was after I was teaching music and art therapy to kids. I did like an art show where I was vendoring, and there was this lady, old white lady. I think she was from Palm Beach, and it was the first time I started painting on snapbacks. Traditionally, when people used to paint on snapbacks, it would just be the brim and the
bill,
top part, you know. And I've never seen anyone paint the whole hat at the time. Now, if you go to Etsy or eBay or whatever, you see people hand paint the whole hats, but not like how I do it. I'm like, if you look at Roxol, you look at my style, you can distinguish my patterns right away. But it was just the brim and the hat. And I was talking to this lady, and I've done sales before, you know, but I'm not trying to sell my artwork. I'm just trying to explain it to you. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. And she was like, oh, I don't know. I was like, you know, try it out. I think you would look good on it. She was my first customer. She paid me the money for the hat, and I was like, I can make money off art. Holy shit, I can fucking make money off art, guys.
Hell
this
yeah.
is crazy.
A eureka moment.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm going to start charging for my work. Oh my God. Yeah.
Damn.
That was it. Yep.
Wow. You know, last week we had Ana Ma in the studio. Shout out Ana Ma, you know.
Shout out Ana Ma.
And we briefly discussed about those very brief moments in a I mean, I guess you can call it a struggling artist career, or in the come up, where they actually feel some sort of gratification. She had mentioned a story about her being in a room full of titans of industries, if you will, and not being able to get a word in until they finally hit writer's block, and her suggestion was what they ended up using. Do you have any experiences similar to that, wherein you felt maybe you were not out of your league, but you were amongst others who, you know, had been in the game for significantly longer, and you felt the need to have your voice be heard?
I used to at the beginning. I used to want to seek the attention for the, like, people that I see as pioneers. But I feel like if you just wait your moment and your time, kind of like in her situation, you'll find like the perfect opportunity to be like your true self. And it's funny because recently I was painting live at an event that my boy was throwing, Super Mario iFlow, and Romero Brito was there. He was there he was sponsoring the event, and he walked in, and, you know, a lot of people say hi to him and stuff, but I'm the type of person, I'm like, if I feel like you have a name, I'm not going to go to you right away to be like opportunistic.
That's what everyone does.
Yeah, you know? So like, just seeing like how the universe works, I'm painting these 3 pieces. I'm down to my last piece. I'm super exhausted. He's literally like right there. He's like right there, you know? And I'm like, damn, maybe he'll see the piece, maybe he won't. It is what it is at this point, you know? And I have my booth with all my hats and everything. And I'm there, and I'm putting my canvas down, and somebody taps me on the shoulder. He's like, yo. And it was him. It was Fro. He was super happy. And by the way, guys, he's super nice person. His artwork is for sure a representation of who he is. He's very, very nice. He had these highlighter shoes. I had these ring lights.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I had these ring lights that were blue. So when I was painting, you could see the fluorescent colors.
Nice.
And I was like, the first thing I said was, he's like, I love your artwork. And I go, I love your shoes. they're like shiny, you know? And his manager was there too. And he was asking me a lot of questions. He was like, how many paintings do you do? How long have you been doing it full time? And this is someone that's, you know, very, very successful.
Correct.
You know? So like for me,
That's an understatement. You know?
Yeah, very successful. Like, it's crazy, you know? And to me, it's about, it used to be where I would get very excited to want to exchange information from someone that's more successful than me. And then to me, it was like, okay, it's more of a waiting game. And it's more of like, don't make it that big of a deal because we're all similar. One of the last things he told me was, he goes, I used to work in fast food or in restaurants before I became a full-time artist. It's like, this is the best decision you ever made. So I was like, damn, someone that's worth $20 million, someone that sold a 20 by 36 art piece, which is small, for $200K, is telling me that this was the best decision I could have ever made.
You're definitely
Okay.
It carries
Okay.
weight.
Right.
Yeah, it carries weight. You know what I'm saying?
Because he's arguably the face of art of Miami.
Yeah.
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 And it was funny. After that, I started seeing his artwork everywhere. I was like, what the fuck? This motherfucker is everywhere. What the hell?
Yeah.
So if anything, he's like more up than a lot of graffiti writers and shit.
I'm way right there.
Where you see? Look at that.
Way right
Look
there.
at that. That's crazy, you know? But yeah, everything is like a moment. I used to get like that, very excited, you know? And now I realize like you don't have to be like that because they're all similar. You know, like they're all people.
Right.
And money has nothing. Obviously, money and success does put them like on a higher plateau to a certain extent, but they're all just like us in a sense where we can have a regular conversation and find something common, you know.
I saw you did a rendition of Brito, and it's on your Instagram. You can see it on the screen right now. Was that after you met him?
Yeah, it was after that event. I felt like, you know, I met him and then I met Jorge. And, you know, I started thinking about like people that really do inspire me. Sometimes like my style does come from graffiti, but you know, some of his art does inspire me, like the thick black outline. I mean, obviously we do have differences as well, you know?
Of course.
But it started like that. And I was like, you know, I need to really think about who does inspire me. So I started thinking about Jeff Koons. I started thinking about Basquiat. The reasons why they inspired me, not just their art, but their upbringing, you know? For example, Basquiat, he really like didn't want to be an artist. People gave him the materials and he was able to have an art show, you know? With Jeff Koons, when he creates his art, it's more of like, you know, his subject matter, it could be based on this little figure right here. He'll look at this and he'll be like, you know what? This is dope, but I'm going to create this water drop. And my art style now is just going to be these huge water drops and it's going to represent something. You know? And then I'm like, well, all this is subjective.
Right.
Everything that we do and success, and this is something that I realized, success is subjective. Having money is subjective. Having someone pay for the soul art coloring book, because someone can tell you like, oh, it's not worth what it's worth, but it's worth something to someone.
Right.
You know, it's a waiting game. Being successful too, it's like working hard, but it's also there's a moment in time where
Correct. Everything's gonna click at some point. Yeah.
it'll line up.
Talk to me about just that, the subjectivity of art, of the art world. You know, you got a fucking damn banana tied to a wall or taped to a wall worth, you know.
Shout out duct tape.
Shout out duct tape worth, you know, several $1,000s or hundreds of thousands of dollars. You know, and at what point is it deemed worth it and not? What do you think of these extravagant artworks that, you know, to the naked eye seem so simple and, you know, it causes a commotion in the art world?
The same way people feel about crypto. Crypto was this thing where it's like, okay, it's nothing, but now it's something. Everything
the value only comes from people paying attention to it.
So what do you think about NFTs?
I think
Some of them look dope.
Some of them are
Some
dope.
of them look dope.
They look dope.
I mean, it's all about the direction that it's going. Is it going to have value in the future? Maybe. I do have some concerns in regards to the environment of it and also the security of it. But all those answers hopefully will be soon. But I think it's dope. You know, I'm not too familiarized with it because I'm still learning about crypto. And I'm one of those people that everything has like a hype to it. But I want to know really how. I'm like, I need to see it at face value.
Right.
I'm very, very practical, you know? It's the same way of like when I first sold the hat. Not that I didn't believe in it and myself of value, but I needed to see it happen, you know? But I think NFTs are a really dope idea. I feel like if we're going to get in the virtual reality world and I'm going to have my own gallery that people are going to pay for each art piece, I think that's cool. But I want it to look dope. Like I want it to feel like it is the real world. Right. I know it sounds messed up. Kind of sounds like the Matrix. I know, bro. It sounds
Shout out Matrix.
But I hope that's where it goes. Right. And if that's where it's gonna go, it's gonna be that successful. But obviously, we still have the real world.
Right.
But we have like another world within the real world where we can have our own. Like we can basically like what we're doing right now could be an NFT.
Correct.
Right.
It's kind of like the Pokemon thing we were talking about earlier. Like, it's just a value that people, just because a lot of people are looking for it, that's why it has the value that it does, which I think is the NFT kind of vibe. Because it's a weird concept when you go from just Googling things, you get them for free, even if they say sample sometimes, whatever. But you could get pretty much any image for free, and now you have this concept of paying for the GIF or the image or the, be a still or a movie clip or whatever. But you got to pay for it because it's the value that the mass of people looking for it gives. Right?
Yeah,
it's an interesting thing we're getting into.
It's also the landscape. People are buying real estate online to create all of this digital stuff, And before it used to be, we used to buy land.
Right.
Now you can buy like air. You can buy like an airspace. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I know in Hollywood or in LA, you can literally buy like an airspace or something, and it's gonna be worth something. So what are you saying? You're saying that we're gonna have like flying cities, we're gonna have like flying advertisement. Like, when you buy the airspace, what are you telling me exactly? When you're buying like digital landscape to create cities or whatever, like what's gonna happen in the next 10 or 20 years?
Yeah, it gets weird. It gets weird when it's something you can't hold.
Yeah,
correct. It's like a. But I mean, the kids that are growing up now, that's gonna be normal for them, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Ignacio. I know you're kind of well versed in this realm. What do you think is gonna happen? I know you're big into. And Juan Cruz definitely is big into crypto a lot. What do you think? What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is the future of NFTs, crypto? Do you think it's here to stay? Do you think it'll, collapse? What's happening?
I mean, I feel like the way where technology is going, at one point, money's gonna be run through our computers, and banks aren't gonna exist, or
We're kind of doing it already, right?
Yeah,
With Zells
exactly.
and shit. Yeah.
Like our currency is gonna be run through like cryptocurrency, just because like physical money is gonna be a thing of the past.
Right.
At one point, I'm not gonna say it's gonna be within our lifetime.
Yeah, because I mean, we have fucking Apple Pay or
Right.
Google Pay or already. Like, we're already getting there.
Yeah, and like at one point, God forbid, like the value of like the American dollar or like the euro is just gonna be so devalued that it's not gonna be worth anything. Crypto is only going up.
Yeah.
So.
What kind of concerns me though is like the amount of how many people are getting wealthy from it. What, like, people are getting ridiculously wealthy from it. Like,
Yeah.
what are those people gonna do? Like, where's all that money gonna go? Who's gonna be in charge of it? You know what I'm saying? Like, if people are gonna be like ultra billionaires,
Yeah.
That's true.
what happens if like the majority of the population becomes billionaires? Like, we have more, like everybody has more than enough money to do whatever they want.
Yeah, but at the same time, like what the downside with cryptocurrency is that it's kind of like untraceable.
Right.
So like banks wouldn't really want to, fuck with that.
Yeah.
Because they want to have something that's secured, that
Right.
they can like
Account for
Regulate.
it. Which
for it,
actually, I
exactly.
feel like, and that's the issue with the layperson, right? I want to know, because I don't have $1 million. So if I don't know where 500,000 of them physically are, I'm okay. I've got another 500,000. Right. I've got $1,000. I got shit I need to pay. So I need to know where my $1,000 are at all time. Right. So I feel like it's a different vibe for the average person. That's why you see a lot of these gifts now, or a lot of these jokes of these people like, oh, I invested all my shit in crypto, lend me a couple bucks,
And they're
because
crying.
I'll be rich in 10 years, but lend me a couple bucks now to buy fucking food or whatever. It's like, all right, you're fucking, you're part of the gold mine kind of thing.
Yeah.
and at the same time, it's like you don't know if it's dirty money or not. Like it's run
I'm
through
a
like the
firm
black
believer
market.
there's dirty money, dude.
again.
I'm
of
a
course.
firm believer.
It's the Wild Wild West right now.
Yeah, bro. All this crypto like Bitcoin to me was made by drug dealers.
100%.
There's no
No way.
fucking way, dude. That's the perfect.
It's for the dark web.
Correct. If I want to launder money, why would I waste my money laundering money?
You
I'm just
mean
gonna
no
make
trace?
untraceable shit.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is we're gonna take advantage of the system. Here
yeah,
we
dude.
go.
Yeah, because it's free laundering at that point.
It is. Damn. What I gotta ask, what do you prefer as far as digital versus analog?
Damn. In music, like we're talking about music now, or
You can answer for both.
damn. That's like a bazooka question. That's like a Rambo question on a
Random question.
Shout out Warzone Rambo.
Dang.
I don't know, man. I feel like there's a lot of stuff that we can do now that's impossible to do back then, or it would take longer. I'll put it to you like this. I talked to my friend Brandon Beatwave. Back in the days, when you used to mix a song, you had the mixing board. You know what I'm saying? And you had to physically go and mix the volumes of the song, right? Now you can just do it digitally on the pad. You have this thing called pitch correction, where if you don't sound good, it has an algorithm
It modulates you automatically
to make you sound good.
The auto tune.
You know?
And you could preset shit too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we got Solart coming in. Let's, what are his presets? Okay, blah, 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 blah. Now we're ready for you. Just go in there.
That's it.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there's a lot of pros to both of them, right?
There's some things that you can synthesize. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong with the S. But I feel like with analog, some people actually like that old school sound. Like if you listen to a lot of brain fart right now. Bruno Mars and this guy Anderson .Paak, they have like that very analog sound. So there's a mix of analog, but there's definitely digital in there. So I'm pretty sure
there has to be.
They recorded on Pro Tools or something. But I guess a hybrid of both, just to kind of keep, because sometimes everything can't be too robotic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you do need some of that traditional sound. Sometimes people record their whole albums with like mics from like the 1960s or something, because that's the aesthetic that they want, and that ends up becoming like the hit.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's
it's
definitely
like
that's very much.
it's
a
an
real thing.
ambiance.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes people add like white noise to their records, the crackling sound, just so that it has
Sounds
like that
like a vinyl?
vintage. Yeah,
Yeah.
it sounds like it has like that vintage vibe. You know?
Right.
So either or.
And what about for your artwork? Do you prefer, to just do that work on a nice canvas, or you hit up that Procreate on an iPad or something?
Both. I use a combination of the techniques that I was taught, traditional techniques, and the future, what's happening right now. So, and it was funny, I was going to talk to you guys about this. Good question. I can create something on my sketchbook, take a picture of it, put it on Procreate, color it in, and send two different versions. Like guys, what do you think? The sketchbook version or the digital version? Some people like the sketchbook version. Some people like the digital version. So I was like, all right, cool. These two people still exist. The world hasn't ended yet. Some people like both, For me, it's both, dude. Straight up.
Yeah, it's equal all the way?
All the way.
Wow.
I'm not against technology. I'm not against the old ways, I feel like, and the thing is, you can apply the old ways to the digital, because it's literally the same thing. You're just doing it on a small,
Was it hard to learn Procreate or not?
I self-taught myself. So what I did was I would go through like the different brushes and the designs, and I just kind of like calibrated everything. Back in the days when you used to do like digital art, it wasn't as seamless as it is now on the phone or on the iPad.
Right.
Now it's like there's barely any like downside, at least for latency. There's some people that are like artists that they need it to be like perfect, but for me, I'm just like, all right, cool. I can do it on my phone. I could do it on my iPad.
Dude, I'm still stuck on Paint, bro.
Yeah.
Again, bro.
Gang,
I'm
man.
Windows 93, bro.
That's
maybe
right.
97. Maybe 97. But 03 already is too much for me. 03 is already too much for me.
Banger, bro. I draw stick figures like nobody's business. That's
right, bro.
Oh, my
Circle,
God.
stick. That's it. Done.
Gang, bro. And my
shit.
birds are just a little, you know what I'm saying? Like that.
Believe it or not, you probably do an art piece, sell that shit for $3 million.
Bro, that's an NFT right there.
That's
all
an NFT,
subjective,
baby.
bro.
It's all subjective.
It's all
bro.
subjective.
Honestly, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know what I'm saying? Every single week we have three segments, and the last one is actually the quest for the truth. You know what I'm talking about? And in this here segment, we ask a random, emphasis on the word random, card from this here deck of cards, and where this differs is not only will our illustrious guest answer that, but everybody in the studio will answer it. Everybody, yes.
Everybody.
And here we go.
Deception. Deception is
How
where we go.
dare you? Okay, no, actually, first one.
First one?
I think it was
Alright.
the first time I actually picked the first
Alright.
one. All right. And we will start. What stereotype do you completely live up to?
Damn. These questions today have been like baffling.
Gang. That's what we go
damn,
for.
bro.
We want to
What stereotype
befuddle.
do
We
you
want to
live up to?
befuddle our guests.
Yeah.
The extrovert
Okay.
I'm the true extrovert for sure.
Okay. Elaborate on that a little bit.
So I'm definitely the type of person that will walk into a party or into a place and try to get to know everyone to understand them better, while being like, I guess, flashy or whatever. I'm a Gemini, so unless the party is boring and everyone's boring, if I see that you guys are all boring, I'd be like, I need an exit strategy. I'm still gonna talk to you guys because I'm not rude, but I'm just, I'm
Bro,
just
the
gonna
exit strategy smoke.
Are you
disappear.
gonna Irish goodbye that one?
I'm just gonna be nice, I'm just gonna be like, listen, guys, one love to everybody here. You guys are you guys are doing great. This is an amazing party. Thanks for the cocktails and the champagne. But you're not gonna believe this. I actually have a client that just hit me up out of the blue right now. Last minute thing that I gotta do to handle. Thank you guys so much. That's the door, right? Okay. Thank you guys so much, and I'm out. That's it.
I know it's 2 a.m, but it's like a crazy emergency. It has to be handled.
Okay. For our glorious in-studio audience, what is one stereotype you completely live up to?
It's funny because you said extrovert, but I'm the true form of an introvert.
That's yin yang, baby. That's a yin and yang. You know what I'm saying?
I don't like being the center of attention at all.
Boom.
That's why you let him do it. Like, listen, you gotta handle that situation.
Anything, I like being behind the scenes. He likes being in front of the scenes.
All right.
So I'm the complete opposite.
All right, and you see her, she's getting out those pictures, those clips, Fuagada getting that BTS, that behind the scenes, you know what I'm talking about. Emi, what is one stereotype you completely live up to?
That's a good question, man. That's
a good one.
Because there's a couple stereotypes, right? You got the Hispanic guy, right? You got the 20-year-old. I guess, kind of like the same vibe you're saying, the extrovert thing. And I don't know if I'm a full extrovert. I think I'm like moody. Sometimes I'm an introvert. Sometimes I'm an extrovert. But I definitely, if I'm gonna go like to a party or if I'm gonna go to a get together or we're gonna hang out with a group of people, I have that. I picked up the fratty douchey vibe in college, and obviously you mold it a little bit as you grow up because you're like, wow, this is a really unbearable person to hang around with. So you keep the get to know everyone, hang out with everyone, include everyone kind of vibe. And then you drop kind of like the really annoying, boisterous persona with it. But yeah, I think that kind of fratty, douchey stereotype. I think that's still got to wear. I mean, look, the Hawaiian shirt.
He plays the character. Here. He plays up the character. You got to do it. Ignacio, what is one stereotype you completely live up to?
I mean, I guess since we've been living here our whole lives here in Miami, the party type.
Dang.
For real.
That's Emi too.
I mean, I just love going out on the weekends.
Hell yeah.
Living up to what Emi has,
what Emi has to offer. You see what I'm saying? It's out there, bro.
So,
no, and everything is open again.
Yeah. Everything's back to normal.
We've always not given a fuck about this whole panty situation, but now it's like, hey guys, pandemic? I'm unfamiliar with this word. Fuck it. 100% capacity, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my God.
Callie and them are going through it. We don't give a shit.
Oh, yeah.
We're like, we love you guys.
Bro.
Yeah.
We love you, America, but
I don't know if you have this vibe, but like I tried 2 weeks ago. I tried last week. I didn't try this week because I was like, I don't know what's going on, dude. Like, I don't like being fucking pressed up against another 150 fucking sweaty ass people trying to get a drink in. Like that, I used to love that vibe. Like I never thought about it, but now that I have to go to a bar that's 100% capacity again, I'm like, fuck this, bro. Dude. I don't want to be fucking, hey, I'm over here, fucking get me a drink. What's going on, guys? Or like, I can't hear you. What?
New Orleans changed you.
I think New
Orleans changed you as a man. All right,
bro. It's back-to-back New Orleans catches up with you. Right?
Oh, that's facts. That's facts. All right, the party type. I'll answer it as well. One stereotype that I live up to. It'll probably be the obnoxious soccer Argentina fan.
Okay.
100%.
100% I can vouch for that.
Yeah. Like
Die Hard?
No, actually, you see on the screen right now an amazing picture.
I mean, he's got the fucking Argentina.
No, so this last World Cup, Emi and I, we
gang shit. We saw pretty much the whole World Cup, bro.
Honestly, we did things right. So we did things right. We watched not only did we watch pretty much every single game of the World Cup until our respective countries got eliminated, and then we went through depression. Right. But we watched every single game of like not even our countries, like random, like
Bro, Saudi Arabia was playing Iran, and
Saudi-
we're like, fucking, let's go.
let's go.
Holy shit! that's
But not
crazy.
only that, we would go to a restaurant of the cuisine of the following country. So if Uruguay was playing, we're going to a Uruguayan restaurant.
Damn.
Yeah. So we did and they were actually obviously they were like really into the game and but yeah, we did that shit right.
hell
And
yeah.
you can see on the screen right now a picture of me going ape shit and Emi just being like, "Fuck my life."
Oh, was that the Novecento one?
Yeah,
The Argentina
yeah.
game? Because I think I was going for England in that one.
Were you guys rocking the unis?
You
don't care. You
have to.
I mean, yeah, for sure.
So you went into the opposing restaurants rocking the other team?
No.
That's the random games. Like
okay,
games
okay.
that weren't
Random
our
games.
teams. We would just. I mean, we would show up with our unis probably.
Right.
The thing is, I have multiple teams, right? Because I'm part Peruvian, I'm part Colombian, and Team
Word.
USA. So I have my three
Okay.
unis that you rock around. Also, you have your team sport,
Right.
like your not international teams, but like.
So how crazy are you guys as fanatics in regards to soccer?
Dude, I go for. I mean,
He's
I
way.
What's your
my voice.
shout like thing with like your shout
Babu,
scale?
Fucking unbearable. It's fucking unbearable. No.
Argentina. Yeah,
It's talking
yeah.
about your decibel count. It's
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah,
unbearable.
yeah,
It's
10 and above?
unbearable.
It's bad. It's
Let me put
bad,
it to you
it's
this way:
bad,
we
it's
were
bad.
in an Argentine bar, right, and we're watching a game with all Argentines. Novecento's very famous
yeah.
Argentine bar here in Brickell,
Yeah.
in Miami, full of Argentines, and I think my uncle was there.
I don't know.
And we're watching, and I'm there watching England because I'm a sourpuss because my team's all three of my teams have got eliminated by
Yeah.
then. So I'm fucking pissed that his team is still in. So I'm going for England, and Argentina, I think, went in to make a goal, and I'm pretty sure they took it away for offsides. And Juan's fucking yell was like, everyone in the bar is like, what the fuck is going on? And mind you, they're all there for the same reason. Everyone is standing up in the bar like, yeah, Argentina. And he's like, ah! And they're like, what the fuck is going on over here?
Yeah.
And then they took it away. Or maybe they took the possession away. I don't know, but they took something away.
You lost
You're
it.
just like, fuck you. Fuck
What the
this.
fuck?
But-
And you had a couple people who were like, yeah, okay, I'm in that vibe. But there's some other people who are like, what the fuck?
They're like passive or like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
a fan, but I'm not like.
But you also need to factor in the time, right? Because this was being played in Russia, right? So
Right.
it's 9 a.m. for us. And for me, I'm like 7 beers deep already.
Wait. It's 9 a.m. in the
9
morning.
a.m. in the
Yeah,
U.S.
because they were playing in
Because
Russia.
they're playing in Russia. They're playing regular times in Russia. So for us, it's like 9 a.m., 10 a.m. Sometimes we had 7 a.m. games that we were at and the bars would open.
Yeah, they would.
Because they knew
They
that
did.
our asses would walk in. I'd walk in with my laptop and I'd
Yeah.
be working.
We would be
and
working. I
fucking
remember
drinking, bro.
Yeah, that was
What
fucking
the
great.
So he's yelling to the top of his lungs, and there are people in Brickell that have yet to wake up for work. And he's there like fucking, vamos! And
Poor
I'm
people.
trash next to him, like, what
Oh,
the fuck
God.
is going on?
Oh, what a power duo right there.
Hell yeah.
But you know what? You only get that shit once every 4 years, so you know you can't.
Yeah, I'm
You know?
a super fan for the World Cup.
Yeah,
I
you
love
can't
soccer.
go wrong.
Yeah.
I watch all my games. I have all my teams in different countries. You know, I watch everything. But for the World Cup, I mean, it's a different
It's-
monster.
yeah.
It's a different. And,
Yeah.
and when the World Cup prelims come, you get like, what is it, a month and a half,
You just
3
you
years out.
start feeling it.
Yeah.
You
You
get
start
another month
feeling
and a
that
half,
shit.
2 years out,
Yeah.
and you're like, I'm gonna need you to stay late today. Actually, I'm leaving early, so
It's like
you
I
better
don't,
figure that shit out.
I don't think you know who I am. I don't think you've read my
Oh,
my
fuck.
Facebook
Yeah,
bio
yeah,
or my
for
IG
real.
bio or
Nah,
nothing.
dude.
You don't know who I
Nah,
am.
the cool thing is the company I work in now, the owner is Argentine.
Okay.
So he knows. Like I've already told him, like, hey, BT Dubs, next year I'm gonna be really sick for like a month and a half.
Yeah.
And he looked at me, he's like, oh yeah. And he's like, what? Next year you're gonna be sick? What do you mean? Like chemo? And I'm like, no, dude, the World Cup.
Yeah.
I got you. You have to, bro. They have to understand. They have to understand.
What role, you know, because Miami is known big sports city. You know, you got the Miami Heat, you got, I mean, I was about to say mention the
Miami Dolphins, baby.
I was going to say the Marlins, but I feel like we
Yeah.
don't speak of them. I mean, but we'll speak of them.
We do.
They
I
actually
think
had
they're
a
the
great
Florida Marlins now.
Yeah.
No, but they had a great run. What was it, last season?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they dropped the whatever.
So, are you big into sports? Do sports play any sort of inspiration in your artwork at all? Have you gotten any sort of not suggestions? Excuse me. Well, if someone hired you for a certain artwork and they wanted to instill sports in there somewhere, what role has it played in your artwork?
1997 Marlins World Series got me into baseball.
Oh,
Okay.
So when they won the World Series, I got into baseball, and baseball kind of taught me like the fundamentals of kind of like who I am today. Hip hop, baseball, all that stuff. But it was just basically like, teamwork, structurizing people. I got that all through sports. At least playing in a team. So I remember
97, was that against it was an Indian team, right?
Yeah, the Indians.
Okay, yeah, because I went to the 2007, we replayed, and it was the first 100 people that showed up, they got an imitation ring.
Yep.
I just remembered that.
oh
yeah.
shit!
Not a big baseball fan, but I remember going to that game.
You got the
It was
ring?
Awesome. I got
Yeah.
the fucking ring.
Damn.
And then they stole it from me in proof. Fuck you guys.
No!
Fucking pussies.
Yeah, I got a national championship. So I played my whole life up to high school, and I stopped in college, but I have a national championship that I won in a tournament. Okay. But that was my life too, dog. Travel ball every Saturday playing, and then parks, and then high school baseball and all that stuff.
Have you incorporated baseball into any of your art pieces?
No, actually, you know what?
Say that.
Juan, hold on there. Hold on there, buddy. Nah, 'cause I'm doing the B-boy sobot, so now maybe there might be one with a baseball bat or something.
Hey,
I don't know.
all right. What's up? Let me know. All right. Slide it through. Okay, for sure.
Inspiration comes from everywhere, bro.
Everywhere, you know what I'm saying?
Use it.
Hell yeah. Before we start wrapping up, first of all, can we please give it up for our guest today, Rocsolmiami. Golly, what an episode of oh my god. Okay,
Ooh,
break it down, bro.
Over there.
Okay, can we clear out the table? You can be
gang shit.
First of all, thank you so much. You leave me hanging right here. There we go. Oh my god.
I'm so sorry.
It's all right. It's only the 4 cameras.
Photoshop, edit it out.
Oh yeah. Bro.
It's never
First
happened.
of all,
It's never
it never
happened,
happened.
guys.
First of all, thank you so much for dropping on by for this episode of Colossal Proportions. We definitely cannot wait for the next one. Like I said, I will definitely be copying the book. You know what I'm saying? You'll see it alongside that Ledoux and the Broken original on our
haikus, boy.
Them haikus. You know what I'm saying? On our coffee table / volcano table. You know what I'm talking about. And yeah, please showcase. Please put it up on
Shameless
the screen.
plug, baby.
Shameless
Shameless
plug. Please let everybody know where can they follow your journey, the website, the Instagram, all that good stuff.
Hello, Miami. You can follow me, Rocsolmiami, at ROCSOL Miami, at Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Rocsolmiami, ROCSOL Miami. Boom.
Boom, fuagada. You heard it here first. You know what I'm talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, and lastly, before I wrap up, last question of the evening, I do want to ask you, if there is one thing that you could tell your 10-year-old self, what would it be?
Make sure you watch Invincible.
Dang! Hell yeah! Hell
When you
yeah!
hear this Invincible thing, watch it.
When you hear that shit,
You better watch that shit.
better watch that shit. That's beautiful.
It's life-changing.
Oh my God, that's beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what I'm saying? Every Thursday at midnight, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? You go on YouTube, you go on Deezer, you go on Spotify, you go on
iHeartRadio.
You go on iHeartRadio, go on Apple Podcasts, damn Pandora, bro. You send me a DM, I'll send you a damn cassette, bro. I'll figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, really, for real, bro. We out here, we hustlers, baby. Every Thursday at midnight, we have a new, beautiful, glorious, talented guest for you to follow. Please hit that subscribe on YouTube, and we will see you next week. Thank you. Holla!
And it don't matter what the world thinks. You can say how you feel on midnight in Miami. When you can push it to the limit.